So tell me about your team. I mean, what was it like to build that? What are the challenges, I guess, a little bit, for listeners who are maybe looking to build a real estate team, what does that look like? And maybe some stuff we can learn from that.
I think it's true of anything that you do. There's one of my friends says that you reinvent yourself every 7 years. You're a totally different person 7 years ago than you are today. And when you start building a team, you have to reinvent yourself a couple of times. Real estate is very much, it's a me industry. It's Aaron West. You see the guys standing in front of their cars in the old days with, it's all about me. And as you start building a team, I found that there's really 3 reasons to build a team that most people run into. It's ego, it's leverage, or it's money, or a combination of those 3. And for most people, building a team is ego. And that was something that I'm in a mastermind called GoBundance. And so being in that mastermind really helped me check my ego and really make sure that I was building it for the right reasons, which is leverage and money. So stepping out of being the hero and really understanding that I wanted to be more like a dentist, where you build this big business, you talk to the dentist, you come back 6 months later and it's a different dentist who's bought the business, and you still keep coming back. And so I wanted to build something that was repeatable, that wasn't just about Aaron. So that's when we started the West Experience. Started with just 1 admin and 2 agents. And then over the years have really just kind of kept that momentum going and kept building the business, and really had to learn how to get out of my own way. I'm successful. The business is successful in spite of Aaron West, not because of Aaron West. And having the mentors and the people that give the perspective to allow you to let go of things that you're really good at to someone who is just good at it, so that you now have the time to look at the forest instead of being down in the weeds. And then just over a long period of time, it was just little tiny baby steps. I'm probably 5 years too slow in getting to where I am, but that's because I couldn't get out of my own way.
Oh, that's such good advice, man. I think that's the challenge. So when I first got an assistant, it was like, I had a hard time letting go of things, anything really, and it turns out maybe, what you described was something you do really well and give it to someone who does it well. In my experience, for me, it's usually, I thought I did it really well, and they actually do it very, very well.
So true.
They just typically will do it better than me and faster than me. So now I actually have a second assistant, which is just incredibly powerful for me. They're not really assistants, they're more like partners. It's like they do some stuff that's really high end, really powerful. But all that to say, that's such a good lesson. I think any listener can take that from really any industry they're in. If you're feeling maxed, it's definitely worth, looking at hiring some help or looking at partnering.
I would say this too. Most people hire from pain. It's like, I have a hole in the ship. I need to fix it right now. And there's so much more power and leverage if you hire to where you want to go versus where you are today. So when you do think about adding the person or bringing somebody on, it shouldn't be to fix the pain that you're feeling right now. It should be to temporarily do that, but more importantly, be the right person to help you where you want to go. And that was a really important lesson that as the business has grown, we've gotten much better at that. But I'm really probably overstaffed a little bit right now, but the people that are in the roles are the right person for the job. And now we're ready to grow a whole lot more.
Oh, that's so good. I interviewed one other person last week that said something similar. It was like, we're ready to grow because we're overstaffed. And you don't hear that very often. I think that's really a ton of wisdom in that. It's like, this is Eric Cabral, actually, who
I know Eric. Yeah.
Yes. He was like, I've set the stage. Like, we're ready to just go way bigger. And of course they do, podcast production, but basically he described something similar where it's like his team is almost too big, but they're ready to rock and they do an outstanding job.